What's going on, my fine feathered friends? AngryBird762 here, and we have finally made it to 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 members of the flock! I just want to thank you all for getting me to this point. I never would have thought that I'd get so much support, especially from my few and far between uploads, but for those of you that still stuck around and supported me, I really do want to thank you. But enough about you. This video is about me. Specifically, how I went about making my channel's most recent success, the Angry Mercs series. By the way, I should point out that this same process will work for anything, not just Angry Birds. However, for the sake of continuity, I'm just going to use Angry Birds Classic as an example. Also, the way I make these videos is with my iPad with iOS 14. Depending on the technology that's available to you, the technical stuff will almost certainly change, but most of the stuff in this video should stay constant no matter what you have. With all that said, let's begin. So step one of the process is getting the idea for your video. You want to start out with a general premise of what you want to use for your visuals, so pick out a game or even a movie that you think would be interesting if it were dubbed by the cast of Team Fortress 2. Again, for this video, we'll be revisiting Angry Birds Classic. Once you have a general idea, focus on a few of the details. What specifically are you looking for in this video? In the case of Angry Birds, this would be a specific level. This step of the process may be a little time consuming, but bear in mind that this is still the least complicated part of the process. With the way I made this series, I always strive to showcase as many characters as I can, but if you want to make your video a bit differently, that's fine too. Just be sure that your scene, wherever it's from, has at least 2 characters and a decent amount of action. If there's only 1 character, or if not much is going on, the video won't really be all that interesting, so try to find something a little more entertaining than that. Now that you have a decent idea of what you want to record, the next step is actually recording it. Like I said, I use the screen recording feature on my iPad, which I'll get back to later. If you're trying to make your video on a computer, regardless of whether it's a Mac or a PC, the recording process might be a little bit more difficult, but as long as you find a way to do it, you can still make your video. Step 3 is to add sound effects to your video. This is a pretty key part, and no, this does not include voice clips. We'll get to that later. Damn it! When it comes to sound effects, you don't want to overdo it. Just pick out the most important sounds and include them wherever they're appropriate. For example, for Angry Mercs, the only sounds I decided to include were the launching of the slingshot, crits whenever a pig was popped, and of course the victory sound at the end. In a video like this, you wouldn't necessarily need ambience or impact sounds or anything. The main focus should be the voice clips, but try to pay a bit of attention to the other parts of the video as well. Step 4 is a big one, writing a script for your video. I used to not do this, but as it turns out, this step is massively helpful, especially with longer videos. There are 2 parts to writing the script: assigning roles to characters and assigning dialogue to key moments. Again, don't overload the video with dialogue, but you should try to fill at least half the video with voice clips. You can even try your hand at sentence mixing if you want. Once you have all the mandatory dialogue written out, try to put in some filler content as well, as to keep the video from being boring. Writing scripts is pretty easy for me, since I've listened to a lot of the characters' voice clips several times over. But if you haven't pretty much memorized all of their lines, I suggest you look at the official Team Fortress 2 wiki. You'll be able to find responses, commands, and taunts for every class, and even responses from other characters like the Mann Brothers, Marasmus, and even Saxton Hale. Just listen to whatever lines catch your eye, and if you like them, put them into your script. If you don't, just keep looking. For characters you won't find on the wiki, like the female versions of Scout or Spy, just look them up on YouTube and you should find something. I recommend the channel Dusty Old Roses. From what I know, she's the original voice actress of Fem Scout and other similar characters, so she's bound to have a good amount of clips on her channel. And now we come back to recording stuff, specifically the voice clips. What I like to do is record all the lines for one character, then move on to the next until I've compiled everything into one single video. By the way, I use iMovie to make these. Since I'm on an iPad, I have to use screen recording to save each individual clip. It gets annoying, but it does seem to work. Line up each clip with its appropriate action, and for those of them that aren't tied to a specific action, just put them wherever it sounds right. But make sure to follow your script. When you think you've got it, listen to the whole thing, and if something needs changing, just change it, as long as it sounds right to you. Try not to make your voice clips overlap each other. The way I see it, it's important to hear what the characters are saying. However, feel free to have overlapping screams or laugh tracks, those are okay. As for spoken dialogue, space them out enough such that your viewers will be able to understand what's being said by each individual character. Once you've gotten an idea, recorded your visuals, written your script, and organized your audio, simply adjust the volume accordingly, and you should have a finished product. Try not to make your video too long so you don't overwork yourself. I find that a simple 1 or 2 minute video is best for something like this, especially for those who are just starting out. I was tempted to make a short little example video to show you what a finished product should look like, but if I'm being honest, I felt a little lazy. And you can just rewatch any of the Angry Mercs videos yourself to get a decent idea of a finished video anyway. With all the information I provided to you, you should now be able to make your own TF2 dubbed video, whether it's Angry Mercs or something else. I hope you use the knowledge I've given you to make some awesome stuff. These kinds of videos always make me laugh, and I'd love to see more of them. So watch some of my other videos if you so desire, and maybe click a like button or two. And with that said, I am AngryBird762, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care.